what was the hardest part to choose the path that you had envisioned for yourself?
There are a lot of dishonorable people that in my industry, they can be a little greedy. They don't get the respect, and more than that, the money they deserve. Sometimes DJs are overpaid, sometimes DJs are not paid at all.
It's no different for doctors either. Did you feel like supported?
अच्छा ये तो बाजा बजाता है, इससे तुम पैसे बना लेते हो. DJing is not like that. People find it hard to respect it. You look at a woman's shoes. If she's wearing heels, आप जितना बढ़िया म्यूजिक बजा लो वो नहीं नाचेगी.
Welcome to Once Upon Your Life. I'm Dr. Manisha, and today's episode is super special for me. Today, I'm not just the host, I am the doctor and a mother who is interviewing her own son, Adi Chaudhary, better known as another Adi. Adi is a DJ, an artist, and someone who has chosen a path very different from the one I come from. I'm a doctor, and my world is all about science, investigations, reports, patients, and a lot of formal training. His world is music, nightlife, instinct, energy, all about reading a room. Today's conversation will revolve around him as a DJ as well as the conventional path that he has built for himself without a ready made roadmap, staying authentic as well as creating his own rhythm in life. Adi, welcome to Once Upon Your Life.
Thank you for having me.
So, Adi, I know, let me start from the beginning. I know that you've always loved music from the time, your favorite track used to be Tuta Tuta, Ek Parinda, Kaise Tuta. But when did the switch happen? When did you decide that, it's not just my love of music, I want to take this up as a full time career?
Still a great song. I don't doubt that. I would still listen to it. I don't know if there was a moment per se for like, but the penny dropped when we were in Spain for Christmas, and we were I think at one of those parks, and I saw a really old man playing the sax or whatever, something by the water. He was very happy doing that. And at that point in time, I think you were encouraging me to go to Canada to get a master's degree. And I was trying my best to fail my admissions so that they don't let me in. And
Okay.
I think that was the moment of courage when you can just. I think I figured out that maybe I should just tell you that this is what I want to do, as opposed to just doing it on the side by myself.
So you have a very unique name, which is the name of about a million other people, Adi, and then you chose another Adi. So I want to know, as an artist, what has another Adi added in terms of dimensions to your freedom, confidence, personality? Has it made you step into a different world altogether?
No, not at all. It's more simplistic than I would want anyone to believe. But it's at its core, yes, there are a lot of people named Adi, and that's a problem in my business because then there's an Adi that's a DJ in Bombay. There's one in Delhi. There's a DJ called Adi in Australia. There's a DJ called Adi in France. I've looked these people up, and I was like, okay, how do you break this? And the only way to break it was with humor, because otherwise I can be lost in when people are looking for me, they won't be able to find me, which is still the case. I'm still Adi to people that know me. It's purely for formality that I need a different name, and so I have one, but it
So when
doesn't
you shake
change
hands
anything.
with people and you say, "Hi, I'm another Adi," do they
No,
like?
I am Adi. That's
Okay,
it. It's
okay.
for them. I for that evening when I'm meeting them at my party, I am the only Adi for them. I am only another Adi in name. It doesn't have to. It's like I said, it's purely functional. It's so that when people look at a poster, they can differentiate. When people
Between the
look me
other.
up on the internet, they can differentiate. But otherwise, I can't be positioning myself as someone that I'm not. I can't also be showing myself to be greater than the other Adis or less than them, but I can show myself to be one of many others. And because everyone wants to be a DJ now, and because there's so many people named Adi, the joke kind of plays on itself because I am not I'm no one's first Adi in their life. Like everyone knows an Adi before they know me.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Um, so we're looking at a scenario where there's a conventional education driven background that you come from, in terms of your family. And what was the hardest um, part to choose the path that you had envisioned for yourself, in terms of both your family as well as in terms of the hardship that you know that this industry is a little bit um, challenging?
I think, in all honesty, after a while, like after a certain age, you have to respectfully disregard your family's opinions, because otherwise you will get stuck in their ways and
Sure.
not your own. And I won't have been able to do what I did if I was listening to you or my grandparents or my uncle or my aunt or my dad. And you just have to listen to yourself and not your parents. But the difficult bit is living with the consequences of your decision, because it took me
Yeah.
about 10 years to get my ball rolling in my industry. But I don't know, you can put it on my ego or you can call it my resolve. But having said that, I'm going to do music and I'm not going to listen to you. Once you say that, there's no going back from that. So it's really uh, the ability, or at times the frustration, of having to deal with the consequences of your words. That's more difficult than having to choose what you want to do.
No, I totally agree, and I think despite the fact that yes, this was totally out of my comfort, but I think it gave me the faith that I think from a young boy, I think you had grown up to be a man to say that if the bricks are mine, so are the roses. So
Yeah.
I think that kind of worked out well for both of us. So good. If you could change three things about a DJ and live music industry in India, what would be those?
Uh, I feel like there are a lot of dishonorable people that in my industry for a quick buck. Like I don't think you can say that about doctors, because 7-8 साल के लिए पढ़ाई करनी पड़ती है, उसी के बाद आप पेशेंट को देख सकते हो. पर डीजे
I
बनने
will,
के लिए
I
सात
will,
दस दिन का काम करना
but I
होता है.
will put a little bit of a. I'm sorry to cut you there, but you, we have a joke between us, right? That you've become a doctor and you're still practicing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go back to.
No, but that's three things that I would change about my the world I operate in. Is I would hope that there are more honorable people in power, because nightlife, at its core, you go to a club, you play music in the hopes that people around you buy alcohol. And if a lot of people buy alcohol, then the club owners and the promoters really like you, because they're like, हम इसको बुलाते हैं तो हमारी दारू ज़्यादा बिकती है. you know uh, and so those people, they sometimes, maybe not entirely of their own accord, but sometimes also because of that, they can be a little greedy. Greedy to the point where, like, a lot of the people doing the actual heavy lifting, like your bartenders, your mixologists, your DJs, they don't get the respect, and more than that, the money they deserve. Sometimes DJs are overpaid, sometimes DJs are not paid at all. So that causes a lot of anxiety in the world that we operate in. So that's one thing I would like to change. Some kind of regulation, some kind of gatekeeping, which is healthy, where, like, people that uh, जिनका मन साफ नहीं है और इस काम में, like, उनका मन नहीं लगता, but they only see the money, they shouldn't be in it, because you can't build a community and you can't build like, I don't know, maybe if your favorite musician was Michael Jackson, yes, Michael Jackson might have had a lot of greedy people behind him, but for him to become Michael Jackson, or your favorite nightclub to become its favorite nightclub, a lot of people with, like, pure passion and dedication were involved. You didn't have just greedy people around you all the time.
Sure.
So that's one thing. The other thing that I would like to change is the way, and this is very specific to India, the way local artists are seen compared to, like, artists from abroad. if you're an Indian DJ and like you're a brown skinned person like myself with an Indian accent like myself, then you aren't seen to be as premium as a Gora with like, like a tight fitted black t shirt and a specific like haircut and blonde hair. Suddenly, like people will go out of their way to support that artist but not their own locals. Which I think goes back to the problem in India कि जब तक आप कुछ बनते नहीं हो तब तक आपको इज्जत नहीं मिलती, बट कुछ बनने के लिए भी आपको लोगों का सपोर्ट चाहिए होता है, वो कभी नहीं मिलता है. इट्स ओनली वंस यू बिकम समवन दैट पीपल विल बी लाइक, ओ हाँ, like
We need to get him.
like you look at any actors or whatever, like you look at anything going on around you, you look at upcoming writers, you look at upcoming actors, upcoming musicians, they're all dismissed until they already reach some level, and that's when people are like, okay, maybe this guy is.
It's no different for doctors either. The reason why we have to practice is because you establish your practice. Unless it is, fortunately for doctors, it can be generational as well. So practices are handed over. But people who are one of, like myself in the family, they have to really work hard to establish a name for themselves. So I feel
I'm
there's a
sure the name,
similarity.
establishing the name is not a problem. I mean, yes, it is a challenge, but when people trust you to fix their bodies with whatever they're dealing with, there's already a level of like respect that is endowed up onto you, which does not exist with us because, like, which brings me to my third thing. People are too comfortable with telling a DJ how to do their jobs, but no one tells. Like, I, as a DJ, would not tell a doctor how to fix me. I'm not going to go tell a pilot plane ko aise uda. I'm not going to go tell my Uber driver, like, tez chala, slow chala. Like, he has to do what he has to do to get paid to get me to from point A to point B. But people are very comfortable telling people in arts, कुछ ऐसा कर दो, कुछ वैसा कर दो, अभी ये बजा दे, अभी वो बजा दे. बट लाइक अगर मैं 10 साल से कर रहा हूँ तो मैं सोच समझ के कुछ कर रहा हूँ.
But I'm going to hold you to that thought and do not answer. You're killing all my questions. I was going to ask you so many which you've already answered, but I want to understand what is reading a room mean to you.
Reading a room is it's actually not as difficult as people make it sound. I can say that because I have a few years of experience under my belt now, but reading a room is basically just being aware of everything around you. Like, you have to be hypersensitive to what what location you're in, what the venue looks like, how are the drinks priced, what kind of clientele are you expecting, लोगों ने पहना क्या है, लोग बात क्या कर रहे हैं, लोग you know क्या पी रहे हैं. Like, you once you piece all of these, it's like piecing together a puzzle always. Like, I'll break it down as an example for you. If I was to play at the venue that I play at in Bombay, it's a very premium venue where the alcohol is very expensive. A lot of people simply can't afford it, so they don't go, which means you are talking about, or you're listening to people who are talking about their vacations in London or Mexico or Croatia or Dubai. And so when they're talking about these things, you can tell, अच्छा इसको इसकी दुबई की हॉलीडे अच्छी लगी, इसको एफ्रो हाउस अच्छा लगता होगा. अच्छा, ये लंदन में पार्टी करके आए, इसको ग्राइम अच्छा लगता होगा. ओ, ये अमेरिका में पढ़ के आए हैं, इन्हें हिप हॉप अच्छा लगता होगा. एंड मोर ऑफ्टन देन नॉट, 90% ऑफ द टाइम that is true. Then you look at, I even mentioned this in a documentary that I was in recently. You look at a woman's shoes. If she's wearing heels, आप जितना बढ़िया म्यूजिक बजा लो वो नहीं नाचेगी, cause वो heels में आई है. वो, like, you
Yeah,
can't make a woman
that's
dance if she has not dressed to dance today. And that is something you look at. Then you're looking at the alcohol. Like, if you're looking at the place you're in, like if I am at that rooftop club in Bombay, then I am playing a certain kind of sound. If I'm playing in, say, a place like Gurgaon, where, like, Punjabi music is far more popular than, say, disco or house music, then I have to keep my sensibilities intact, because if I don't play anything with that, I don't know, like a little bit of Bolly or like Punjabi flavor in it, then I will lose the dance floor and I am the one that looks bad and I am the one that doesn't get booked. So we have to swallow our egos and actually play to the environment we're in. Like, I'm not going to play a Punjabi track if I get the opportunity to play in a warehouse in Baikala. I will go my techno route. But if I'm playing to a bar in Gurgaon, then I can't play techno then. That's what reading a room is like. It's like, okay, this is the pattern I'm seeing and this is the remedy for it.
Adi, what do you think India views DJing as a profession compared to the West?
I feel like this is a larger conversation, but generally, I'll be honest with you, most of India does not view us with respect, which is not a problem. It's just like a sign of the times. We're still early on in the process of developing nightlife and DJs in India. But when you look at DJs in India, like I'll give you an example from our family only, right? Like, don't want to take names again, but like people will think कि अच्छा ये तो रेस्टोरेंट में काम करता है, अच्छा ये तो बाजा बजाता है, इससे तुम पैसे बना लेते हो, तुम्हारा घर चल जाता है इससे, and I probably make more money than them. But like you can't say that out loud because egos will get hurt, you know. But that's the fact of the matter that a lot of people, because देर इज़ नो 4 साल की पढ़ाई, उसके बाद एक इंटर्नशिप, उसके बाद एक ट्रेनीशिप, उसके बाद 15,000 महीने की नौकरी, you know, because DJing is not like that. People find it hard to respect it because it's more about किससे जाके मिले, किसका हाथ मिलाया, किससे काम लिया, किससे आगे बढ़े, you know. And that I don't think people in India are generally comfortable with, because we are a typically shy people. Like, you know, if I was to throw someone into a room and be like, okay, now work the room, go say hi to everyone, and make your friend group from this and get business out of this from scratch. Even I was thrown into the deep end. I wasn't built to do this. I had to make myself do this. But a lot of people would be too shy or too apprehensive and would never begin, you know. And so I think that's why they're like, हम तो 10 साल मेहनत करते हैं फिर हम यहाँ पहुँचते हैं तो हम ऐसे ही आ गए. But the flip side is everyone wants to be a DJ now because they look at, like, you know, reels of DJs or they look at videos of DJs. Yes, there are a lot of attractive people around me all the time, and so DJs are like, oh, there are so many, like, people that want to be DJs are like, there's so many attractive people around this guy. I also want to do this. Um, the it's interesting to see that the very thing that made it possible for me to become a DJ is also the problem around DJs itself. Because when I was becoming a DJ, yes, you helped me go to music school, which I dropped out of. But DJing was starting to become accessible to the general public in the sense that it was becoming affordable. Now it's more affordable than ever. You want to learn how to DJ, you spend 50,000 rupees and have enough time with your laptop, you learn the basics, right? And I feel like now that my career has started to reach some kind of solid ground, it's become a problem because I see a lot of people doing it for a quick buck, doing it for eyeballs, doing it for likes, doing it for not doing it for, you know, the not doing it, treating it as like a sacred art form. Like, and I don't mean to be showing myself as someone that is holier than thou. I also like to do it because, well, yes, you get to be in the best of venues, you get to live a party, and yes, that might have been the thing that sowed the seed for me. But now, what keeps me going is the momentum of being a DJ. You know, like just that it's so meditative to play one song, play another, and do that for 4 hours at a stretch, where like कमरा भरा है कि खाली है मुझे फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता बिकॉज मैं अपनी जोन में हूँ, you know. And if I don't like a song and if 1,000 other people in the room like it, I will still not play it, not because it's an ego thing but because it will break my own meditative flow. So I have to play something that I think the other 1,000 people will also like along with me. And people don't go into that depth of being a DJ, because on the surface it's like, हाँ इतने दारू है, इतने drugs हैं, इतना, like, you know, it's such a loose profession. uh, Otherwise, also people in India are obsessed with, like, you know, job security, which is a myth. Like people in tech get laid off left, right, and center. People in marketing get laid off left, right, and center. But DJing, it's like एक साल करेगा उसके बाद क्या करेगा. अब तो मैं 8 साल से कर रहा हूँ, बट वो क्वेश्चन कभी नहीं जाता कि अगले साल क्या करेगा. um, but I feel like the good thing about India is the competition is lesser. Like if you're truly a good DJ, then there's very few people to compete with in India, which is the opposite in the West. Like if you go to London, or you go to Berlin, or you go to Amsterdam, or you go to Paris, where there's legitimately every fourth or fifth person is a great DJ, and they are playing for 80 euros or 100 euros a night. I'm getting paid more than them right now, and I'm getting to play the best venues in Bombay because I am good at what I do, and the competition here is still lesser if you go about it the right way.
You know, I want to know, how did you build yourself without big budgets and sponsors and brand backing when you actually began? Not like, I want to take you back maybe when you were just 2 years old or 3 years old and you were still,
I don't
um,
think I was DJing when I was 2 or 3.
no, 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 in your profession when you were. So, like, I mean, you didn't have a daddy, right, who held
Yeah.
hand and said that, I'm going to make you this. So, how did you navigate through all of that?
I don't think there was any thought behind it. I know that the one thing that I'm very lucky for and I'm very thankful for is that I have a lot of goodwill, and that goodwill can only exist if you make people feel good about themselves. And say you came to my party and I made you feel good at my party, the next time you'd come and you'd bring a friend, and now I've made two people feel good, and they'll bring two more friends, and then you'll make four people feel good. Then it becomes 8, 16, 32, 64. You know how it goes. Like,
So,
uh,
organically.
very organically, just the whole idea was that if I do something that makes people happy, they will tell other people about it, and that has been at the core of what I do, because that is at its core, that is what DJing is. Like, it's not about me serving myself, it's about me playing to the room, making sure they have a good time.
Yeah.
And so if I actually deliver on a good time, I yes, the brands and the sponsorships will help, but they are not necessary. You can build a stronger ship without it, because when you're at the mercy of a brand or at the mercy of sponsorships, then unfortunately, brand collabs in India leave a bitter taste more often than not, because अगर मैं 100 200 400 लोगों को एक कमरे में इकट्ठा कर रहा हूँ, the brand will be like, again, very greedy, very desperate to get their attention and their eyeballs. But that takes away from my party. The reason my party can be a fun party is because I'm like, hey, you come, you drink as much as you want, you come on my guest list, you bring whoever you want. Just don't come in a big flock of dudes, because that will, I can't help you if you're coming as stags. But if you're coming as a couple, or if you're like, if there's more women than men, you're more than welcome. You dance how you please. You want to stand in a corner, like, there's absolute freedom for them to be at the party. Just don't tell me what to do, because I have decided on what this party is for you. You will have fun, I guarantee it. You have to trust me with that. And if I now imagine you've made this whole thing, और उसमें आप एक ब्रांड कोलैब डाल दो, अब वो बोलेगा कि मुझे आपकी हर रील में मेरा ड्रिंक का शॉट चाहिए, मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप 100 लोगों को मेरी ड्रिंक पकड़ा दो. वो अच्छा नहीं लगता है. Like, then people be like, oh, is he doing this for, like, brand visibility? And that would just leave, like, if I came to your party, if you were a DJ and you did this with me, where it's like, hey, this is for a brand, can you just do this? I I wouldn't want to come to your party again.
No, we as doctors get that. We have medical representatives who will push a drug in front of our faces to say that, this is
Yeah.
effective, and only if I feel that it it adds value or is cost effective for somebody who would like that bracket of treatment, I would use that, but not over my ethics or my
Yeah.
work, this thing. So that brings me to another question, and that is like, I like the way you say about, like, it's my party, even if you're playing at somebody else's venue. Does another Adi aspire or already has his party, like his gig? This is like my personal gig, and you are invited. It could be at any venue, but it's the another Adi's thing.
Yeah, I have a party. It's called Millennials Only. It's a throwback pop party where we play 2000s pop, uh, stuff that I was listening to in middle school and high school, stuff that the rest of the world was listening to in middle school and high school. That's a lot of fun. It doesn't align with my artistic vision. I would like to throw a disco party with a lot of funk and guitars and stuff. but there's a time and place for everything, and for now this is the right time for this party, and then maybe 5 years down the line I'll have another party of my own. But right now this is what is right for the room right now, and how you as a doctor would decide what is right to treat someone. I am the custodian and protector of people's happiness, and so I have to decide what is going to make them happy, you know, like that is my job.
So I'm going to now ask you some fun questions.
Okay.
Um, if your mother walked into one of your gigs, would the song that you play first change, or would you continue to play the song because that's the vibe of the room?
I wouldn't be comfortable with my mother walking into my workplace. That is the honest bit. But
But if I was to,
but if you were to walk in, then no, you are one of 400 other people in that room, so I will service the room.
do relatives now treat you like the permanent in-house DJ? Do they come up with like, अरे cousin की शादी है, तू तो घर का ही DJ है बेटे, तू तो बजा ही देगा? Do you
No,
get such kind of?
thankfully they've been more respectful on that front. Yes, it comes up as a joke, but if I think I'll be honest, if I wasn't an actively working musician, then yes, वो नाक में दम कर देते, but क्योंकि अभी मेरा घर चलता है म्यूजिक बजाने से, वो भी थोड़ा डरते हैं, cause like they'll be like, oh, this is a serious craft, or like he's like a serious artist now, and so like they hesitate, but it could have just as easily gone that way.
What is that one song you secretly enjoy, but you'll never admit you do?
Hmm. Uh, I I do end up listening to a lot of Hindi stuff, which I don't actually. I really like the Dil Se album. I listen to it all the time. But that is still very artsy. I would say one of my happy songs would be "Yu Hi Chala Chal Rahi" from Swades. It's a very fun, happy song. Yeah.
So, Adi, what is the funniest or the strangest request that someone has made at one of your gigs?
Actually, I have two answers to this. One was, I think, when you asked me, the question was a strange request that you actually caved into. So I'll answer that first. Around like sometime last year, uh, this regular patron at one of my parties, I don't want to name her, but she's a lady in her 40s. Every few months, she's at a party of mine, and I hadn't seen her for a while. And she came back to one of my parties, and I asked her, "Where have you been missing? I haven't seen you for a bit." And her mother had passed recently, so she couldn't obviously have come out to party, but she had. And I know like a few of the songs that she really liked listening to. So I was like, you know what, because this woman has stepped out today, to like feeling bold enough to step out after like a big loss, I should do something for her joy. And so I played a few of her favorite songs, even though she didn't like request me to do that, but I knew that if I play the song she will be happy because she's told me earlier, and because I see her so often I remember these things. um, but the strange ones are like, I was playing at a club last week, and this young girl in her early 20s comes up to me. She's like, मेरे पापा का birthday है तो आप थोड़ा hip hop बजा दो. And like she points at the table, there's no papa there, I know she wants the hip hop. So I was like, okay, cool, I will do my best. And I feel like that is the best way to actually stall requests. You just keep telling people, I'll see what I can do, I'll do my best. And eventually उन्हें पता लग जाता है कि वो नहीं बजाएगा, because that's the only way I can let them down softly. The other way is to be like, जा मैं नहीं बजाऊंगा, क्या कर लेगा, but I can't do that. Yeah.
If your life had a DJ set, okay, what would be the opening track? Not your entire life, but the current phase of your life. What would be the
That's an
track?
interesting question. Uh, there are these two songs that I really like, but they're too mellow to be played out on a dance floor. But there's this song called Sunspot by Moby. It's a very mellow piano with like a very like soft beat under it. Uh, that that would be something I aspire to, like that level of peacefulness, peace. I don't know, whatever the right word is. But that would be the level of ease I aspire to. Uh, the other song would be A Day at the Beach by Sander Van Doorn. It's a Dutch house music song. And it's, I don't know, when I make music or like, when I think of music or I think of, how I would be able to express my sound or myself best. Like it's always really mellow, housey music, and like waves are crashing and the sun is setting, and it doesn't have to be a party. It's just there's a lot of like lush electronic soundscapes and the sea in the distance. So yeah.
Have you? I know that you take very few requests, but let's just say the request of the venue and not the person per se. Do you judge someone's personality for whom you're working with the kind of requests they make?
Yes. It's not harsh judgment, it's justified because I'll break this down for you. A venue or a promoter or anyone that works with a club or bar, they will only have requests if things aren't going well enough for them. And for them, for things to go well means is the bar moving, is the crowd moving. And so like you can look at their requests as like business feedback, where it's like, okay, if they're asking me to make like play harder music or play faster music or take things up a notch or take things down a notch, that means that like they are looking at it from a business lens, and so you have to incorporate that in. But if they're asking for specific tracks, then like I have the discretion to say no, because they have hired me to pick the tracks to play out for the night, and if they wanted to do it, they could do it themselves.
So we're going to go back to the family. We've all taken the bitter pill. We've swallowed that. You made it very clear the 9 to 5 is not for me, and I'm going to go into a creative field. Now, in that entire journey, you and I both know that time was crucial. All you knew that it's not going to happen instantly, and it's going to take the time it's going to take because it's not a formal set path. You know. So I want to understand at any point in time during this journey, did you feel like supported, or did you still feel like you're in the deep end?
uh I feel like I was in the deep end, but of my own choosing, and it had to be that way because if I felt like I could ask for help, then that would not make me work as hard as it did. And I just never felt comfortable asking for help because it's not the help that would have made me feel bad, it's the constant reminder of the help. Okay, like we have done this for you, ab iska result kab aayega, and I guess I have too much pride to deal with that, but I chose, like I said, that I will deal with the consequences, but I will not ask for help where I am constantly made to feel the burden of it.
I feel the burden of it now.
Uh,
But
but like it was, in all honesty, I had to go that way. Like the movie we just watched, The Odyssey. Like I have to find my own way home, and home does not mean to my family. Home means to myself.
yeah, no, I
And
resonate with something like that. I strongly believe in that little saying that in the end the hero has to fight, and each of us, regardless of whether we're served on a platter or not, if it's not about what you have accomplished, it's the sustainability of that accomplishment, which talks about the metal, the meat of the person.
yeah.
So um, now, I want to ask one thing as a doctor, mommy. Okay, and that is, how do you manage your health, sleep, and routine in a profession that completely works against any sort of normal clock?
This is something I can thank you for because you actively help me monitor it. In part because I'm wearing your ring on my pinky, my ultra human, although it has to change because it's very inconvenient.
I know.
Uh, this, like, my sleep schedule will always be erratic for as long as my career thrives. That is something I have to just accept to be true. Uh, but because I am dedicated to sleeping, I will still find my 8 to 9 to 10 hours a day to sleep, unless there's a lot going on. So I do get enough sleep. For the most part, I'm able to not, I have enough resolve to not drink when I'm playing, and I've thankfully not made that neuron connection yet in my mind where, like, gig alcohol, so like that's still broken, and so I don't think I'm at the risk of alcoholism. There's a lot of passive smoke around me. I can't control that. Uh, the real thing, I guess, that I do have to worry about is just social fatigue, because if you're meeting 100, 200, 300, 400 people weekend after weekend and you don't know half of them, that can be very tiring, because वो आपसे ऐसे आके मिलेगा जैसे आप उसके best friend हो, आप उसका नाम नहीं जानते, and you just have to be like, hey bro, so good to see you, what's going on, and you have to remember that one thing they said 2 weeks ago, mummy कैसी है, Pete ठीक है, you maybe saw them in a cast because उसका हाथ टूटा हुआ था, is your hand okay, but आप उसका नाम नहीं पता, आपको नहीं पता वो किसके साथ आया है, वो बस आ गया है, and like you have to do this for them to feel valued. And it's unfortunate, like I would like to get to know them properly. I'm not saying this to be mean about it, but it's impossible for me to keep track of 400 people and my own life.
This is something which is completely different with the doctors. The patient will forget the doctor, but the doctor will always remember. We may remember them with, like, I think I saw you for XYZ, but it's like it's embedded in our DNA. So Adi, I'm going to do a rapid fire round with you. The
Okay.
only hamper you get is hugs galore. That's it. Okay. Another Adi in 3 words.
um okay. Dependable, versatile, qualified.
One word for your music style.
Joyful.
One venue or festival on your dream list.
Koningsdag, that's King's Day. It's a national holiday in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands. Their king's birthday. Yeah.
One song that always saves the floor for you.
One song that always saves the floor for me. I think this again depends on what kind of party it is.
One song.
But Superstar always saves the day. Yeah.
One thing that a DJ hates hearing other than, can you play this song?
मजा नहीं आ रहा, कुछ और बजाओ.
One thing that a DJ secretly loves.
The oohs and ahs that people do, like you live for that, because it's like I press a button and 100 people will scream on that end, like, that's
Late night gig or sunset set.
5 p.m. or 5 a.m. Either is good.
Headphones, laptop, or instinct, your biggest weapon.
Instinct, 100%.
I know the answer to the last one, but I will still ask. One word your mother would use for you.
Lucky.
Thank you so much, Adi, for this beautiful chat that we've had today. It opens up my understanding of your work, your creativity. It also, in spades, develops a lot of confidence, a lot of respect, a lot of love, a lot of pride that I feel as a mother. And also, at some point, I feel like maybe I understood it too late. But it's never too late, like they say. So it's great. I know you feel like I don't think I should be there at one of the gigs, but I think I will be incognito to you, but I will be there. So to see the whole vibe and experience, it's a different high to see your son play. Like, I think doctors would say, oh, it's a high. Today my son has performed a surgery. So for me, this is going to be a high to see you playing. And I wish you all the luck, the best, the best creativity, the best peace in your mind while you play your set, the best venues. And I wish for you that you continue to literally make people dance to your tunes. Thank you for being on Once Upon Your Life so much.
Thank you.